Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mac from Cryptstar, and today I have another gem bomb to drop upon you guys regarding Tezotopia. If you don't know what Tezotopia is, it is a gaming metaverse built on top of the Tezos blockchain. Tezotopia can be very complicated for new users. There is a lot of information to kind of get in your brain, so I'm trying to make as many tutorials as possible. So today's topics of discussion will be some of my tips and tricks that I've learned from going through the Telegram group and sifting through conversations, trying to figure out what the next play is for Tezotopia. My first topic today is Metsopia and Diplomats. There's a well-kept secret that you need to kind of dive into the documentations to learn about this. So I'm going to go ahead and cover that in today's discussion. Also, I want to talk about Uno versus machinery for APR. There are a few tips and tricks out there that a lot of people don't talk about. There's a short-term play and a long-term play, and I'm going to kind of cover that for you guys in today's video. Also, I want to go talk about Tezotopia announcement channel. I believe that is a very underutilized tool, and I'm going to leave a link for that in the description below. I think it's a very important thing to go and stay on top of the Tezotopia news, and that goes into my fourth topic, which is being wary of changing mechanics and to focus on GIF and Uno. So I'm going to tell you guys about my strategy, what I do to make sure that I can stay profitable as possible without spending 100% of my time on the Tezotopia sort of chat room. Very difficult, especially when we all have other things we have to do. We have work, and it's very hard to stay on top of things. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a way. Go ahead and make sure you're successful, even if you can't stay in the Telegram group 100% of the time. Let's go ahead and jump right into the first topic of discussion, which is Metsopia and Diplomats. As usual, if you want to hear more about Tezotopia news and Tezos news and also other blockchain gaming news, be sure to subscribe and hit that notifications bell below. It really helps the channel and it helps me reach a greater audience so that they can be informed of all these awesome things. So let's go ahead and talk about this first topic here, Metsopia and Diplomats. So in my previous video, I went ahead and I talked about Metsopia and about how Gavin Maloof had joined and how Gavin Maloof, he's a very, very influential person in Las Vegas. He has a lot of connections to the casinos. He also knows a lot of famous celebrities. So I think this is a very good collaboration between Tezotopia and him, and I'm really excited for this. I think this news kind of went under the radar for a lot of people on Tezos, but this is actually really, really big news. So I just want to kind of make that point again here. To go ahead and find out sort of the secret Easter egg in this whole, as we all know, at least I know, Joab Garza, he loves to leave Easter eggs and he likes to put them in kind of secret spots. He likes to make it sort of fun for the users. So it's sometimes a little bit difficult to find some of this information. You realize once you find it that he hid it for a reason. He wants to reward people that kind of go deep into the ecosystem. What you need to do is you click on this link here and you go over here. It takes you to the Metsopia page. You can sign up for the email, and I went ahead and did this. I signed up so I can get all the latest updates as soon as they come out. On this page, you actually can click on this more info button, and it'll take you to this gift.games announcement page. I also pay attention to this. I have a subscription. If you don't have a subscription, then you would definitely kind of have trouble finding this page, and I think that was kind of done to reward hodlers, and it even says down here, hodlers will be rewarded. So the secret Easter egg of Metsopia is that the recent PFP project that launched on Tezotopia, the Diplomats, those actually have utility in this new Metsopia metaverse. Of the 4,545 distributed diplomats, each will have a home in Metsopia. Higher class diplomats, royal, statesman, magnate, will have access to penthouses in the epicenters of activity within Metsopia. And like I talked about in my previous video, we all know Gavin Maloof has access to some of these really big celebrities such as Lil Wayne, and I think it was it 50 Cent? No, I remember. There was a couple other celebrities that he's done events with that he can kind of call upon to come into this metaverse. So holding one of these higher class diplomats could be a very, very great experience for you in the long run, and it'll definitely be a very rewarding experience, as we know. In the past, Gift.Games has rewarded hodlers by giving them Uno airdrops, gift airdrops, all sorts of awesome goodies if you were a hodler and you held for the long term. This also goes for these diplomats. So I'm assuming that diplomats will have a very, very huge utility in Metsopia, and that's why he wasn't really worried about sort of competing with Dogami at the time, because he wants to reward the long-term hodlers and believers in the project. So for my second topic of discussion, I want to talk about Uno versus machinery for the APR. I think this is a very, very interesting topic right now. A lot of people are rushing to build buildings on top of their lands. They might have like a lot of lands and they feel like they need to build everything all at once. However, if you go and you look at sort of the Tezotopia documentation, and then you can kind of search for machinery, and you can see the different resources, right? So you can see the minerals and energy are used to produce machinery. When a Tezotop is claimed, it begins with one building, the Starbase. Starbase uses 0.25 energy and 0.25 minerals to produce 0.25 of machinery. Machinery's main use is to create units and buildings. Big part about this is that pretty much if you already have all the units that you want, all you're going to have to do is save up your machinery to build buildings. And machinery has an unlimited cap. So if you take a look at the different buildings inside of your Tezotop and what you can build, you can see that in order to repair certain units, for example, you need an artillery depot to repair your artillery. And that is something you're going to need in the future. And I think this will use energy to go ahead and repair them, or maybe machinery. I'm not quite sure about that. But basically, you don't even need to have a barracks if you already have an army. And for me, I personally already have an army. Over here you can see. I'm not going to worry too much about machinery in the long run, because in the short run, I can just save up my machinery, build my buildings slowly, and not get impatient. And don't be tricked. Don't part with your Uno cheap. Uno is really cheap right now, so it's a great time to accumulate. For me, I'm actually starting to sell my machinery and buy Uno, because I know Uno is going to go up in price once these other games are released. Now, this might not be the most popular thing, but I do know some people have a lot of Tezotops and they can manipulate the machinery price quite easily because of their machinery production. So don't be fooled into selling your cheap Uno, or your cheap Uno now for machinery, because machinery price can be tanked at any time. Once all of these buildings are done, the use cases for machinery will pretty much be limited to, I think, repairing units. And I think repair units, it requires energy anyways. That's just one point I want to make about Uno. Uno has a limited cap of 333,333, whereas machinery has an unlimited supply. So you can keep playing this game for years, and as Uno gets more and more limited, machinery is going to actually become have a lot more out there on the market once people have built all these buildings on the original Tezotops. During the next couple of months, everyone's going to want machinery, so the price is going to spike. But if you take a look at teztools.io, you can see the price is remaining quite stable down here. Whoever dumped back in February, and I've dumped it all the way down. You can see I could see the price going up a little bit over here to 0.014, but I have a feeling in the long term it's just going to keep going down unless some major utility has launches for machinery. So next I want to talk about the Tezotopia announcement channel. You can see here on the Tezotopia announcements channel a lot of great information can be found here. I believe if you're going to be involved in Tezotopia, this is a must. Even if you only come in once in a while to check how things are going, definitely make sure you check on this announcement channel. Also, I would go ahead and make sure you register for the events that Joab or Ansheet decides to speak in. Another big thing to note here is it does always announce pretty much always, unless there's a surprise drop, the Uno artifact drops. Now, if we all know that Uno is going to be very rare in the future, and it's very rare to get these Uno drops. So you can actually get one of your first Uno drops coming up here tomorrow, and it's 67 Tezos. This is a lot cheaper if you look at the marketplace. As you can see here, the cheapest 2x Uno modifier is 170 Tez. When you can get that Uno modifier for basically one ticket, and then 67 Tez, this is a very, very good deal. So once this is done, once these are released, and then they're not gonna do another sort of Uno artifact drop for a while. I think that trying to register for this is going to be very, very competitive. So make sure you go ahead and pay attention to this channel so you can get the latest information. Okay, let's go ahead and jump on to my last topic of discussion, which is being wary of changing mechanics. Make sure you always realize the backbone of the gift.games ecosystem is Uno. It is unobtainium. It is unobtainable. So just remember that. Also, make sure you focus on GIF, because you never know when there's going to be a huge sale for GIF. Like right now, it's extremely cheap. You can buy in, and basically, if you go ahead and stake in the GIF staking, I think the biggest benefit to this is being in the private beta chat group, so you can go ahead and learn about the latest battle tactics for Tezotopia in the private beta testers chat group, and that is only available to people who are staking 100,000 GIF. Right now, that's not extremely expensive compared to before. Also, you can stake it to earn actual revenue that the company makes for selling all of these items. So next time there's a big sale, 3% of that will go to these gift stakers. So I highly recommend trying to grab it while it's cheap. There is a limited supply. Try to allocate a portion of your machinery and energy outputs while the prices are still up. People are hodling a lot of the machinery for now. So just remember that. We're hodling machinery. They can dump it anytime. Make sure you sell and get that GIF and Uno while it's still cheap. Anyways, that's it for today's video. I really hope that helped you guys out. If you guys want to subscribe to the Tezotopia announcements channel, please check the link below. I'll leave it down there. I'll also leave it right here so you can check it out here. And you guys have a great day and stay safe. Peace out.
Bro, we need to pump it. Everybody go to Twitter and hashtag the things, pump it. You know, pump it real good. We need a good pump. Everybody deserves a nice Tezos pump.